Hello, sinners, saints, my fellow ribs and the glories of men. Welcome back to another video. Today, I wanted to address, in light of Elon's baby mama drama and the continuation of that and more details coming out about that, I wanted to address the ultimate goal of the pronatalist, and especially the pronatalist Christian, because we should ask the question, is the goal simply to, in a crude way, say, baby max? Is it all about just having as many kids as possible, as Elon seems to be doing, just running around different women, IVF pregnancies here and there, or is it something else entirely? A lot of secular reasons are perfectly valid in having kids. Well, A, I just want a large family. B, we're heading to a population cliff, so there's a greater existential reason. For the environment, I want to have kids to help the environment. On top of that, a safety net later in life. These are all valid reasons, but ultimately, in a sense, they fall short, because aside from raising your kids intentionally for a purpose, they kind of fall into the same trap that we have fallen into with this generation. Have kids, raise them, whatever, and essentially foster another generation of broken culture and broken families. And that ultimately doesn't solve the problem, it just delays it another generation. For the Christian, however, there is a more poignant reason as to why we should have kids. Of course, for God's glory. Everything should be done for God's glory. Romans 11:36, for from him and through him and to him are all things, to him be the glory forever. Psalm 115:1, not to us, O Lord, but not to us, but to your name give glory. Colossians 1:16, for by him all things were created, both in the heavens and on the earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. For the believer, parenthood invokes a special kind of suffering that brings sanctification in the likeness of Christ. There is a certain type of sanctification that is developed when someone is entirely reliant on you 24/7 for multiple decades, that invokes a certain sense of selflessness and laying down of one's life in the likeness of Christ, who gave his life for us. So it's important to remember that we're not having as many kids as possible just for the sake of having as many kids as possible, not even to save the world. We're having as many kids as we can, or having as many kids as you have had, for the glory of God, to change culture, to glorify him by changing culture through Christ. Because ultimately, if we just delay the issues to another generation, what hope is there? Aside from a miraculous intercession by God. And that has many implications for lots of people. That may be meaning not to have as many kids as possible. That may be meaning to hold back for medical reasons, or because it may bring a threat to your life that would hinder your ability to serve your kids in the likeness of Christ. That may mean delaying between kids, spacing them out so that you can focus intentionally on discipleship. But I would argue for the vast majority of people that they're not in that situation and not that intentional about their family planning. And I would encourage you, see if you can have another one. Push yourself if you can. Have that consideration just to go a little bit further. The goal isn't to have as many kids as possible. The goal is to build a culture through Christ that solves a lot of the issues that we're looking at in this world. Simply having more kids, more people in this world is not going to solve our problems, but raising kids intentionally may definitely help them. Anyway, that's all for today. Grace and peace from our Lord and Savior, and I'll see you tomorrow.